pulled it up. So let's just quickly pivot to here. In this next topic, we're going to talk about how to tell if your vehicle, or how can you try and get ahead to see if your Tesla Model Y has hardware 4.0 or not. I'm going to give you a couple different tips and strategies to see how you can predict if your vehicle, or how you can try and find out beforehand if your Tesla Model Y has 4.0. But before we get into that, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best behind Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to get the access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide with all the best interest rates and financing rates lower than Tesla financing to finance your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And shout out to Marks for posting this question. The question was, the comment was, I hope the release of my hardware 4 on the Model Y is more widespread than we know. I'm scheduled to pick up my Model Y on Fremont this coming Monday. I wonder what are the odds that it will have hardware 4.0. So thank you, Marks, for posting this question, because this is where we can get into how we can try and actually predict it. So the first thing, of course, is to ask your Tesla advisor, your so-called Tesla advisor. If you didn't know, the text message, the phone calls that you call in, it actually goes to a call center, or at least it goes into a bucket for your delivery location. And really, there's not one person that responds back to you. It could be plenty of other people that respond back to you by the end of the day. And so that's why you kind of get differing answers every single time you ask some sort of question, because it's not always the same person. Of course, if you know someone at the Tesla advisor or Tesla store, then that's a different story at the end of the day. The second one is trying to go to your local Tesla store, especially your delivery appointment, going to the lot, seeing if there's vehicles, Model Ys on the lot already that already have 4.0, and trying to take a look at some of those VINs, because it does work in order in terms of VINs, in terms of the number consecutive and all that stuff. So if there's vehicles out there that have Tesla Model Ys that have the hardware 4.0 and your VIN is after that, then there's a good chance that you will have 4.0. The next way is, once your vehicle actually arrives, the same thing. You can try and ask your Tesla advisor, or even try and go to the store a little bit beforehand to see if you can actually figure out if you have the hardware 4.0. And there are ways to figure out whether your vehicle has hardware 4.0 just upon pictures versus not. I definitely saw a thread yesterday for, comparing and contrasting what the pictures look like. You can probably just Google it to see, because I think like Kilowatts was able to get before and after between hardware 3.0 and hardware 4.0, and it's really just a bigger camera sizing at the end of the day. The last one is kind of like not necessarily a hack, but there is this forum called Tesla Motors Club. There's sections on it for Model 3, Model Y, S, and X, you can imagine. And if you go to the Model Y section and then go to the sub forum section of ordering, production, and delivery, there's plenty of threads in which there's people just like you and me posting on here with current orders or just taking delivery. You can see like it's called waiting rooms, and this is a collection of people that are about to take order or have pending orders. So there's always periods of times in here where people will post stuff just like this. They just got their VIN, they got their delivery day, or they might even just taken delivery and they confirm it has hardware 4.0, and they'll even give you a segment of their current VIN so that you can try and predict, like if you're Fremont just like they are, or the production of the factory, if you're Austin, and seeing if your VIN is after the VIN, then there's a good fingers crossed likelihood that you will also have the hardware 4.0 after that. So let me know if some of those tips, or if you've got extra tips on top of that, and to see if there's any other ways to try and figure out if you have hardware 4.0 or not. And I know a lot of you out there are probably going to try and get hardware 4. And so if there's other tips out there that you've known that actually works, especially in this short period of time, because this is only going to be probably a 1 to 2, maybe 3 week window, because then all Tesla Model Ys will happen after that. But just like Model 3, this is probably going to be the same thing that's going to be happening for the Model 3 after that. But we're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down in the description is a Patreon link where you support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me. You can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best financing rate for your Tesla, including credit unions and banks on that list that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, lower than Tesla's 5.59%. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all Patreon DMs or direct messages at a certain level. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description.